Asia lead in the world in Web3 and Metaverse?
And good afternoon, Philippines. Good afternoon, Asia. I'm really looking forward to talking to you today. This is my first trip to the Philippines since the pandemic, but I've been working in and out of here since 1984, and I lived here for 3 years. I was working for the Asian Development Bank, so it's absolutely fabulous to be here at this amazing summit. And what a beautiful country and what beautiful people. So thank you, Philippines, and thank you, Asia. But I've got something else to thank the Philippines for. Maybe before the pandemic, you would never have found me going to a gaming conference or even speaking at a gaming conference. But as we were sitting there locked into our homes during the pandemic, we started to hear this story about Axie Infinity. The Philippines brought this story to the world, and the power of that story was that people were playing this game and they were able to earn enough money to put food on the tables of their families when they couldn't earn money in any other way. And that's a very, very powerful thought to think about. Now, I know that Axie didn't end up all that well, and one of the other panelists spoke about it. But what we did learn was that we have the capacity through gaming to create economic opportunity for the poor and the vulnerable. And that's a really powerful thought. So what did we see next? So we saw richer players funding poorer players to get into the game so that they could play. But sadly, we then saw the growth of the scholarship programs, the reduction in the amount of the Axie tokens that the players would get, and then the corporatization and big business of this play to earn. But I still think this was one of the early ones, and we saw from the Philippines story the power of play-to-earn games and the power of play-to-earn games to bring income to the poor. So the Philippines brought this to global attention, and we have to thank you for that. Now here we are in the middle of Asia, and I'm just going to throw a few demographics and numbers at you because we know that gaming is huge here. So first of all, we know that Asia has the most gamers. We know that Asia has the biggest revenues from gaming than anywhere else in the world. Over 1.6 billion people play games in Asia. That's a lot of games. Have a look around here. The demographic of gamers is around 35. Let's have a look around. And 70% are men. Let's have a look around. That's what we're seeing. One of the differences in Asia with other parts of the world is that mobile dominates. People want to play games using mobile. That's what they have access to. And when we come onto the metaverse, we're going to talk about that as well, because I believe that the metaverse platform that creates a mobile-enabled metaverse experience is going to have the most adopters. And here, everyone loves esports, right? Everyone loves esports. All of these tournaments, League of Legends, mobile games, Asians love all forms of competitive sport. And think of Dota, League of Legends, tens of millions of dollars in prize money are there, and Asians love to compete. You're going to be one of the biggest esports regions in the world. And 18 to 24, and men account for 70%, and the global audience is going to grow to 577 million by 2024. So these are big numbers. This is a big market. But let me stop for a minute and look at the size of the mobile growth, just emphasising what I said to you before. The future in Asia is going to be mobile, and so whatever platforms you're building need to be built on mobile technologies. But what I really want to talk to you about is Web3 gaming. Now, I know that there are people who are in Web2 gaming and they think Web3 sucks, right? Anyone want to put your hands up and think that Web3 gaming sucks? We know that. We know that that was a criticism. But Korea, Philippines and Vietnam are fast-growing Web3 nations. And we've had $200 billion of total addressable market here in Asia. Web3 is going to be very important. And this is Robbie Ferguson. Has anyone heard of Immutable? I am Australian, and Immutable is Australia's first Web3 unicorn. Have a look at it. It's a very, very interesting platform. But what Robbie's saying is that we're going to see 40% of all the Web3 games ever come out in the next 12 months, and we're going to grow to 100 million players. And Asia is going to be at the centre of this. So I know people who play Web2 games say the Web3 gameplay is not great. But let me tell you some reasons why Web3 is important and it's going to be adopted in gaming. So the first one is ownership. You, the player, own the assets, not the actual game owners. And with those assets, you can trade them, you can take them out of the game, you can sell them, you can buy them. The second fantastic thing about Web3 is you can earn income. You can earn income from those assets, but you can also use them in different ways within the games, and you can take the assets to other games. Just for interest, at the moment, India is actually the biggest Web3 gaming nation with 34% of players playing Web3 games. And we're seeing a lot of the play-to-earn, X-to-earn games going on in India. Web3 is easy to monitor, to modify. If you're a gamer, if you're a player, if you're a developer, you can change what happens in the game. And it's much easier to modify than the big centralized games. Web3 allows interoperability. You can move your assets from one game to another. And Web3, people are now saying 80% of all Web3 gamers will be in Asia. And why not? You have huge populations, you have huge numbers of gamers, and now when everyone realise what they can earn out of the games and still play really cool games, they're going to be doing it. So you've got different gaming platforms here which are using Web3, so Nexon's MapleStory, and then Square Enix's Symbiogenesis. And then we have a Korean platform we made that's going to be using NFTs in their platform in the future. And Polygon from India is the biggest Web3 gaming platform. So all of the arrows are pointing to Asia, and it's big. Talking about, look at this, 5.41 billion by 2022, expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 68.9%. That is huge. Now, we spoke a little bit about the play-to-earn games and what were some of the problems with them. So I'm not going to say there were none. They had poor game quality. They had unsustainable tokenomics. There was inequality with wealth, and you ended up with the richer players exploiting the poorer players. So now what people are developing is something a little bit different called play and earn games. And the issue about the play and earn games is that you have great gameplay. You have as good gameplay as a Web2 game, but you also have the capacity to be able to earn from those in-game assets through Web3. So this is going to be the future, and 80% of gamers are going to be in Asia playing Web3 games and earning money through them. These play and earn games prioritise transparency. They prioritise and establish partnerships and collaborations so everyone can be involved, both in shaping the future of the game and in earning money out of the game. And they provide for continuous content adjustments because the people who are playing the game are also helping shape the future of the game. The Web3 games educate players so that they can come into the industry easily. They offer these diverse earning opportunities through NFTs, through trading, through community events, and they focus on an engaging story, engaging you in the game and rewarding you for being part of the game. They're more sustainable because the token economics are designed to keep you involved and playing and developing and growing the game. The game quality is great and it's more inclusive. So there's no financial barrier for people to come in. People can come into these games and they can play them and they can benefit and they can contribute. So why do I think the future here is going to be Web3 focused games? Firstly, play as owner. You own the assets. In Web2 games, you don't. The platform owns the assets. Earn while you play. Why not? You love playing. Why not earn while you're playing? And you have control of the assets and you can move them from one platform to another. Now, Web3 gaming is already looking to grow by 2,000% from 2021 to 2022. That's huge growth. You have the freedom in Web3 to change the game. Now let's talk a little bit about Metaverse, because Metaverse isn't necessarily Web3. I talk about Metaverse as an immersive Web3, and you have fantastic Metaverse experiences here, augmented and virtual reality experiences, and we're going to see that grow. And one of the other things that I think is super interesting about Metaverse in Asia is that you're leading in the use of Metaverse and gamification in other sectors. So Seoul, Korea was the first to announce that they were going to put all of their government services in the Metaverse. We're seeing other governments follow suit. People are using the gamification experiences that you're developing in games to get people to lose weight, to be fit, to do other things that are going to help their physical and mental health. So there's an interplay between what's being developed in gaming and what can and will be developed in other parts of the real world providing services for people. So this is super exciting, and this is something that I know we're going to see developing right here in Asia. So to my point, Web3 and the Metaverse in Asia, you are going to lead. This is the largest gaming market in the world. Your per capita GDP growth is going to drive this market even bigger. Of the top 100 gaming companies in the world, 2/3 of them are in Asia. And Asia's going to make up 80% of all the Web3 gamers. So Metaverse in Asia is set to grow. And there we have it. The numbers speak for themselves. This kind of an event speaks for itself. This is the future of Web3 gaming right here in the Philippines, and thank you for telling us about Axie Infinity. And Asia, Korea, Japan, China, Vietnam, other countries in Asia, India as well, are going to be powering and showing the rest of the world what can be done in Web3 gaming, what can be done in the Metaverse, and how to actually create the innovations of the future. So Asia, you've got it. Thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciated the opportunity to speak with you.